You missed the spot, right?
Oh no. I'm getting that little Hitler thing again. Hey folks, Lester and Jamie here, and thank you for coming with us, joining us today on this beautiful Sunday afternoon here in hot Texas. But we are blessed. We've gotten some rain this week. We've actually gotten about an inch of rain for the last 3 weeks. So if you think about it, that's 3 inches of rain we've gotten in 3 weeks. And it hasn't taken much to make everything turn green again. Jamie was noticing yesterday some crazy colors of green. Talk about that for a minute.
So I feel like everything was on, if it wasn't brown, it was getting there. And then all of a sudden it's had, rain, like Lester said, once a week. And we were driving. I'm like, there are neon colors out and about right now, as at a time where things would be lusciously like Kelly, beautiful green. There's an array of green colors because I don't think that the plants and trees and grass know what to do with all of a sudden it's had water. And it's a very unique color. I would love to see it flying over it right now to see what this part of Texas looks like.
She wanted me to get my drone out. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm going to show you who we're being joined by. Hey, you two. Get out of the shop. Get out of the shop.
Tilly's in the corner too.
Get on out of here. Pickles, go. Yeah. That right there would be our ragtag setup. We're here in the shop, and I'm hoping that you guys are not being bothered too much by the sound of the fan. We do have a big fan across the shop blowing this way towards us. But yeah, we're being joined by Pickles and Elfie. Shh, baby, this is not really about you or Pickles over there. You guys need to go on out of here. Get on out of here.
They don't care what you think. I don't know if you know that. They do not care what you think. They're going to check out every bucket and every... Sorry.
So we do have the goats and the ostriches are all having their enrichment hour. We have the goats and the ostriches enjoying their enrichment hour. I'm not going to be able to focus. I'm one of those kind of folks that can't really focus unless I...
No one knew that about you. No one ever would have predicted that you have a little touch of ADHD. I'm going to add the H in there. And that there's like a jingle bell is going to like throw you off the whole time. No one ever predicted that.
And I haven't even popped my Dr. Pepper yet. I'm about to, but I want to show y'all what's really cute. There's a very sweet lady who's very concerned about me.
Her name is Barbara.
Barbara is very concerned about me, and she thinks that I drink way too many Dr. Peppers. She thinks I drink way too many Dr. Peppers, so she says she wants me to see if I can try to cut down a little bit. And she bought me these minis, these Dr. Pepper minis, which is 7 ounces. Now, wait, these are only 12, right?
Yeah.
So that's not really that big of a difference, but it's a cute little can. Look at that.
It feels very different to Lester, though. He pulled it out of the fridge and was like,
oh,
what is this?
Let me ease into that, Barbara. Allow me to ease into that. I'm going to spin the camera around and show it. Well, I don't want to keep wasting time on all that. But listen, we have a shop full of critters who have all come to join us. So Millie and Fiona are laid out there in front of the fan. And when I say laid out, they are legs sprawled wide open. They're not being very ladylike.
Those girls have no shame and they get comfy, okay?
They're not being real ladylike right now. And then, of course, I think that you guys by now, you know that we have a new addition to the family. As a part of our misfits, we have old Tilly. Tilly is a sweet little goat who's actually not that sweet. I thought she was going to be sweet at first, but she's turned out to be quite like a Ringo, a female. No.
Your Pebbles did that to her. She did not start that mess.
Pebbles wears a bell because she's a female version of Ringo. Yes or no?
Yes.
Guys, Tilly's going to be wearing a bell. Tilly has to wear a bell because she is rough. And so if you,
Tilly's sweet.
I know that a lot of you guys may not know her story yet. And for that, I apologize. L.E. was the one that headed this rescue up. He met a sweet lady named Joyce, who is, she's in a wheelchair. She's had some spinal surgeries and issues, and she could no longer take care of her sweet Tilly, her little goat. And so she reached out, and Ellie went and met her and picked up Tilly and brought her over here. Now, there was an issue. I say there was an issue. It's not that big of an issue now. Go ahead.
I was going to say is an issue. If we're talking about the same scenario.
So let's talk about the antecedent. I'm using technical terms here.
Man, we're getting teacher-ish. Like, school's about ready to kick back in, and Lester's brain is like, everyone needs a lesson.
Jamie's going to say that the issue is that Tilly will not go and live with the goats.
Tilly will not admit that she's a goat.
Tilly wants to live right here in the shop with our dogs and cats. And so we've had her for about a week. And for a week, yes, she has in fact lived right here with our dogs, our cats in the shop. But there's a bigger reason of why I'm letting her stay here in the shop. It's not because the goats are mean to her, because the goats are just mean. Goats are little jerks, y'all. I love them, but they can be real jerky sometimes. But Tilly was born and raised in a house, in a home. And Miss Joyce had a special room where she had a very large kennel. And that's where she raised Tilly. She let Tilly outside on occasion to, do have some outside time. But there were German shepherds who lived next door, and they were not kept in the yard. And so Miss Joyce was terrified that at some point they were going to get her Tilly. And so she kept her inside. And I get that. A lot of folks want to keep their babies safe no matter what. And so Tilly, who's been raised for 4 years inside of the air-conditioned home, and all of a sudden it gets to a point where Miss Joyce can't really take care of her as much and ask us to give her a home with us, which is fine, except that Tilly's not used to the heat. And Tilly went through a couple of days of her quarantine there in a side pasture, and she had a just continual pant, which is scary because, you know, she couldn't cool herself off. And so it's much cooler here in the shop. Now, Jamie and I are in the shop now. We have the fan blowing on us. Tilly knows her way around, and she has not been panting since we brought her inside the shop. Here she is. Everyone, meet our sweet Tilly. Hey, Trouble. Tilly, where you going? So that's Tilly. She's a sweet little girl, and but she's rough. And I joke and call her my shadow because just like the dogs, every time that I show up, she sees a truck coming. So she runs to the garage door, and right there with the dogs, you got both the puppies and Tilly, and they're watching me. Once I park the truck and get out, here comes both the dogs, and here comes Tilly. And then Tilly gets mad at the dog. She wants to be the first, so she starts doing all that rearing up stuff that goats
she
doing.
does. She suddenly becomes a goat in that moment.
Yes, and she has missed the dogs and hit me around the kneecap area a couple of times. So, anyway, Tilly is, you would call her the porch goat if we had a porch. But in this case, she's just going to be our little goat that lives in the shop.
She's a goat. She's a dog goat.
She's a dog goat. But she's adorable. We love her. She hasn't been a problem. We've also been a little bit concerned about the color of her urine.
Yeah.
It's not clear and it's not yellow. It's more of a rust colored. So we've done some research, and Jamie was afraid of some dehydration issues. So we've been trying to get the electrolytes to her and see if we can get her back on a good.
Well, just adapting her to the heat is a big deal, and you know, it's stressful to go to a new place when you were the only animal to now becoming, you know, part of
a herd,
a shit show. And well, it is progressively gotten better. I will say that.
So guys, we maybe have picked a really, there's a cat trying to have a bite to eat, and Tilly's trying to get into our cabinets.
Yeah, Tilly's just having a doorknob there.
Tilly's just eating our doorknob. So Jamie, I am so sorry to put you through all of this. We could have left and gone back home to I'm a Survivor and been sitting in the AC and had good internet. And no, but here we sit in the kitchenette in the shop, and we got the fan blowing on us. We got a lot of little animals running around.
At least there's no ostrich eating ears. That would be like probably the deal breaker.
But that did happen earlier. We did have another bite to the ear a little earlier. It was on the back side. So
it's the same ear.
I don't know why that darn pecker is so drawn to this ear. I don't know why that happens. But Jamie's afraid she's going to give me the cauliflower ear, and I'm going to end up being like one of those MMA
full disclosure,
guys. Really,
it already is bigger. Okay, she's like unwound this side, and this side doesn't have that.
You know how uncomfortable this is? You to call this out on a live video.
You said it first.
Look how many thousands of people are watching this, Jamie, and you're sitting there calling out that I have deformed ears because the ostrich has pretty much unraveled this one over here.
Don't pull it. It's going to stay that way.
It's obviously from what you say, it's already staying that way. So a lot of entertainment here, guys, lots of entertainment. So from our vantage point right now, we have Tilly who's using her horns to open the cabinets. Over here and over in front, we have kittens that are all having this huge wrestling match. Like I said, we have the two guardians, our two guard dog guardians
They're
over
the
there,
most relaxed
who are laid out, squat out in front of the fan. We have our goats eating their dog food, and so yeah, it's going to be tough to focus. I'll tell you, I think the most exciting thing of the day is I was talking to Rick, Think Like a Horse. I made a reel that I put onto Facebook, or Facebook reel, of all of the ostriches getting out. And man, today they were just going crazy. It was the zoomies. I called them like it was Ostrich Anarchy was my joke. That was going to be the title of my video, Ostrich Anarchy, because they come out of that pasture going crazy. And it was really sweet, and just they all looked so happy and healthy. And so I gave Rick
Tilly. She's eating the table.
That's not me shaking the table. That's Tilly biting the edge of the table.
Stop it, you. Oh, oatmeal.
Oh, she's eating oatmeal. She's trying to get into the oatmeal.
Look at her little teeth. She looks like she has human teeth because her bottom ones are showing.
Tilly, we're trying to make a video here, baby. We're trying to do a live video. And over there, you got kittens wrestling. Everyone needs to know we're struggling here. We are struggling here.
That's not for you.
I'm sorry, and I have cauliflower ear. Sorry if my back is turned to you, but I will no longer let everyone. I will no longer be the joke of the internet. The guy with the cauliflower.
We'll just tape them down. Look back at the thing. Look, it's good. It's all good.
Can we just tape them down?
No, my gosh, stop it, Tilly.
I don't know what to do with her. I was talking to Rick, and Rick was we were FaceTiming so we could talk about Carl, and I was showing Rick all of Carl's antics, and Rick was just so proud. I would say proud that Carl was truly living just this amazing, his best life. I mean, Carl was living his best life. And, Rick brought up something, and I want to share it with you guys real fast. And this is pretty deep. So I'm not going to be focused on your comments. If you're going to be commenting, I'm not going to focus on the comments for a few minutes because I want to tell you what Rick shared with me. Rick said that my life and our journey with the Hurricane Harvey and all of the devastation, of Hurricane Harvey and all of the things that have led to this point in our life, where, I'm sitting here joined by Jamie, and we have the whole family, it seems like, is involved in the whole social media. My dad's been able to supplement his retirement by making some videos. Sister Kim, Jake, Brienne, my son, L.E. And am I forgetting somebody?
Brienne, Jake.
But here's the thing. And then, so that's one side. Then you have the fact that I was able to invest and buy the property here at Longhorn Lester's, and the animals, the longhorns, the ostriches, just living their best life, a place to bring the goats when times got really hard back at I'm a Survivor, and they've been able to cope and survive the heat and the drought of this summer with having plenty and doing great. And Rick said that this whole thing reminds him of a proverb. It's called the Chinese farmer. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
So I will kind of paraphrase this story. It's called the Chinese farmer, and y'all can thank Rick. He Think Like a Horse is Rick's channel that we follow. We become friends. And Rick said the proverb goes, there was a farmer who had bought a horse to help him around his farm. He's a farmer, a Chinese farmer. But his horse ended up running off one night. And so all the neighbors come by like, oh man, you just wasted your money. Oh, that's a shame. How horrible. And the farmer was the kind of guy that refused to let himself get upset and bothered by stuff because he always believed that things happen for a reason. And if lo and behold, the next day or so, the horse doesn't show back up, but this time he has went off out into the wild and brought a bunch of wild stallions back with him. So now this farmer sitting there with his horse that he had to purchase, along with these other horses that have all followed him back. And he's like, wow. So the neighbors all come by like, wow, aren't you the luckiest guy around? And the farmer's like, you know, he's not the kind of guy to get himself worked up. Well, it just so happens that the farmer had a son, a teenage aged son, who wanted to go out there and tame them wild horses. Without his dad's consent, he goes out there and gets on one of them horses and he starts trying to ride that wild horse around. That horse throws him off and breaks the little boy's leg, breaks his son's leg. Man, all the neighbors come by like, wow, aren't you just the unluckiest guy of all time? I mean, this is horrible. Your son has a broken leg. And the farmer still refuses to get himself upset. He just, would you believe that the next couple of days, the country goes to war and they have an all call for all able-bodied men between such and such age, which included the farmer's son. It's time to come to war. Well, guess what? The farmer's son with the broken leg couldn't go to war. And everyone was like saying, isn't your son, aren't you just the luckiest, you know, your son's not off to war right now. And the story continues on. I think that you kind of get the point, but it just kind of talked about the whole way that the universe works and how crazy it is that for every action, there's a reaction. And there's some things that you can't just do for a purpose because you never know the consequences of any action. You don't know the long-term consequences of any action. And so as we sit here right now and we are blessed with getting some rain and just things are going really, really good, and we say to ourselves, wow, we never really would have looked back years ago and ever thought that we'd be doing this, having so many of you guys come and join us on a Sunday afternoon as we drink our Dr. Peppers, and there's someone that's concerned about my health, and we got goats around us and kittens around us and puppies, and in this nice big getaway of a shop and this Longhorn Lester's. And crazy how many people after Harvey would have thought that it's over. And I'm not going to lie. I wasn't the Chinese farmer. I also went through the what now. But how neat that things all happen in a sequence of events, reactions, and actions that led to other actions. And here we are. And I thought that was a real powerful story that Rick said.
It's powerful.
And of course, Rick tells the story a lot better than I do. But I was happy to talk to Rick. And so the reason he brought that up is like, look at Carl. We get Carl as a rescue, yet there was a whole lot of neighbors who, how the neighbors were. And
the neighbors were more than restless. We'll just say that.
Anyway, it ended up to where we have Carl now. And today I'm out in the hot tub, our hillbilly hot tub, and I'm sitting there surrounded by a whole bunch of ostriches. Jamie made a really cute video. I'm sitting there surrounded by a family of ostriches who are all joining me, let's say at the hot tub, not in our hillbilly hot tub, but at the Hillbilly Hot Tub. It ended up to where I began to give them the old dance move. I probably did that wrong. The old sprinkler dance. And I'm actually giving them an actual sprinkler as I dance around. They all begin to lay down around me. And it was at that moment right there that I just found myself saying, wow, this is not where I thought I would have seen myself. This is not where I ever would have thought I would have found myself after Harvey and times along the way. You know,
I was just going to say that. It's not just about Harvey. It's along the way. Even I remember the day that you sent me the message that said, I'm home with a rescue. And then I walk out and there's an ostrich in my backyard. Like, never in a million years in my life did I ever think that I would, A, be on a farm and like doing it, B, sharing it with the world, and then C, be comfortable enough that we're out doing our thing with ostriches.
We were. They have just became so social right now, and which nothing. Rick was just shocked at how Carl was right there with me, just hanging out beside me. Now I can't touch him.
He doesn't hate you anymore.
He will not let me touch him, yet he does not touch me either.
I can touch Carl.
So yeah, Jamie's better with Carl than I've ever been. But it is true. A lot of you guys are talking about how things happen for a reason and things happen for a reason. And it's hard to know that when you're going through a tough time. It's hard to realize that when you're going through a tough time that things happen for a reason. But I will say from firsthand experience that a lot of neat things have happened, and they all got triggered by a very something that you would have never thought could ever lead to anything good. So whatever you're going through in your life, if you're going through anything, and I know a lot of us are, and though it doesn't have to be a hurricane, I've always talked about how, you know, we can hit rock bottom in so many different ways with our finances and with our marital strife and relationships, family relations, abuse, neglect, you name it. There's so many different ways that people can feel like they're at a rock bottom. Their health, just know that there is good days ahead. You just don't quit and give up. And because I wonder how many people after Harvey did quit and give up. And I don't know. So
I think that's what your message is so true, though. And I think that there are days when it's hard to look to the next hour. It's hard to look to the next moment even, or the next day. And to think that, oh, in a month or in 2 months, I could be somewhere and it could be totally different, you know, along those lines. I think that what you're saying, though, is to, you can't quit. You can't stop. You have to keep going and take what you're going through as a lesson, and to learn from it and look back on it one day.
Yeah, true that. Where did that come from?
I don't know. That was really heavy from all the chaos.
That was pretty deep. And but no, it was nice to talk to Rick today, and it's nice to FaceTime and talk to somebody. Funny story is, I wasn't wearing a shirt because I'd been in the hot tub. When I FaceTimed Rick to show him what was going on around me, he wasn't wearing a shirt either. So how awkward is that two grown men are both sitting there without shirts on? So we were both so embarrassed we were holding the phone way up here to where you could only.
I walked around the corner of the building to see
the phone right here.
This. And I just was like, nope, just going the other way. I'm not going to even ask questions today to have any idea what was going on.
Two grown men who did not want to see each other without their shirts on, are both sitting there holding the phones at weird angle. So all you can see is our upper faces. And I'm like, hey, Rick, sorry, I'm not wearing a shirt. He goes, hey, Lester, me neither. And yeah, so how awkward was that? So we ended up.
The weird part is, so I don't think that women do that. I think that women are like, yeah, I'm a hot mess today. And the other person's like, me too, thank God. And we can both relax. If you're in the same boat, you can like move on from it and there's no judgment. But I don't think that we hide it if you're sinking the same ship, I guess.
Okay, that's one way to put it. If we're sinking the same ship. Thanks a lot, Rick. It came from her, not me. Anywho, there's quite a bit going on, y'all. We got some really neat videos coming out. we are once again convinced that this one side of our property is haunted. This is not just Lester having some fun. I'm not pulling your leg. This is all Jamie. And I don't want to give a whole lot away because that kind of ruins the moments when there's a video to come out. And Jamie doesn't exaggerate the truth like I do. I'm known to be, hey, I'm the guy who's here for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so I can have some fun and get by with it. Jamie is a very factual and matter of fact type person. And even though I've said all along, scary things happen on this side of the property, things that give me literally give me the goosebumps. It's like you can sense, we all have a sixth sense about us when something is just not right. And Jamie's never really felt that exactly until recently. And some
I can't wait to
happen.
I can't wait to share the video with y'all because things legitimately happened that I have proof of that are like, I'm scared to go back out. I'll just say that. I have to go finish the video out there, and I have been putting it off because I'm scared to go.
And if that tells you that Jamie's scared to go out there even by day, then what does that right there tell you?
Yeah.
Not to mention that, but we have cameras set up all over this property. And one particular camera has, can I talk about this? Is that one particular camera one night captured about an 8-foot long snake crawling past.
That is as big around as my arm, or appears to be that.
Which terrified me because I've not seen a snake here yet. I have only seen a snake on that camera. I've not actually seen a live snake here. And I always thought, hey, this is great. There's no snakes here. And if I don't see the biggest snake ever on camera, I don't know what kind it is. I don't know snakes, whatever. And then if the next night that same snake doesn't climb on the camera and wrap around the camera, and so you have your camera and it's seeing the snake climb and wrap around it, like squeezing the life out of our camera.
Like, I'm here to tell you that camera's batteries are going to die soon, and I am not it to go replace them. It can lay.
I'm not going to touch it either.
It can stay there and just die.
We'll
like the camera. I'm talking.
Jay, we got your new camera. Yeah, Jay can have that camera.
I'm not getting it. Like, if you are up or someone else is up, because I'm that I don't even want to walk on that side of the property anymore. I'm good forever, ever and ever.
Yeah. So no, I don't, that I can't help but read some of the comments that are popping up. One of them got me tickled because you said it was big as your arm. And then I said it was 8 foot. Someone goes, wow, an 8-foot arm.
I said around as
internet,
my arm.
Stop. Y'all stop being the internet.
I said around, big around as my arm.
And I said it was 8 foot long. And so I guess, anyway, yeah, that makes perfect sense. It was an 8-foot long snake. As big around as your arm. What's wrong with that? That makes perfect sense. So, And anyway, that was funny. But no, there's been a lot going on here at Longhorn Lester's. I'm trying to, and I'll just say this, and I know not everyone follows the Longhorn Lester page, and that's fine. It was I wanted to make sure I'd never neglected any particular animals. So it's hard when you're here, though, because at I'm a Survivor, you normally in every video, you have a compilation, if you will, of all of the different animals at I'm a Survivor. But I've noticed that at Longhorn Lester's, there seems to be a focus, a focal point, a focal type animal. So either today it's mostly about the Longhorns. Am I wiggling?
No,
or today it's about the ostriches. Today it's about the goats. And I bet you would not believe if I told you which videos get the most views. The ones about the Longhorns, the ones about the ostriches, or the ones about the goats. Which videos, and don't even say the ones about me working, because I promise you those are not. Those videos, no one wants to, very few people want to watch me do a job. I stopped making those because that was embarrassing to spend your day trying to work with one hand. Because doing a job is hard. I don't really carry a tripod around with me. So I'm trying to work with one hand, video with the other one, only for no one to watch.
Well,
and so, no, I get it. You're here for animals. You're here for animals. I get it. I'm not upset. I am not upset because the work had to be done. The work is done. I'm not upset. So my question goes back to this. Do you think that videos that focus on the ostriches, the longhorns, or the goats get more views?
Are you asking me?
I'm letting everyone have a chance to talk about it. I hope that you guys are not going to the page real fast and looking. What do you think?
Well, I know that text has been a big thing ever since the beginning, so I would think that I think the text is number one, but the ostriches are probably a close second.
Okay, so you say that overall videos that focus on the longhorns, which include text, would be some of the bigger views.
I would think so.
So I'm actually reading over here, and most people are saying ostriches. There's a few saying longhorns, but for those people that are saying goats, guess what? They won. Listen to me. I don't understand this for anything, because to me, and I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but you see goats all over the place. But I've made a couple of videos. I know. Listen to me, though. It's crazy. I can take those goats down by the river, and everyone, I don't know if it's the river that intrigues people, but the goats that go down by the river get more views as far as video views than any other animal. And so here's what I'm thinking.
I bet I can tell you why.
Tell me why.
There's a lot of variety of personality in the goats, and I would think that a lot of people can actually relate to different characters in there more so than the characters of the longhorns and the characters of the ostriches.
I would have thought, though, that the ostrich is kind of like exotic and you don't see them every day. You never really get to see an ostrich unless you go looking for a National Geographic or a Discovery Channel video about the ostrich. And even then, it's some boring narrator. The ostrich comes out by, whatever. But over here, you see them in their natural, doing what they do. And I always thought those were very entertaining. And I thought that people were here to see the entertainment part of it.
Well, so the ostriches are entertaining, but they're also intimidating. Even your mom was terrified yesterday. She was intrigued to watch at a distance, but after they got closer, she was like, nope, I'm done. So I think that sentiment could go to people as well, that plus they're not cute and cuddly like goats are. Goats you have a natural desire to pet goats versus ostriches, I would think. I mean, they aren't like giant dinosaurs walking around.
That's true. Well, either way, no. So at the end of the month, and we just ended the month of July, which was the first month where I posted a video every single day of Longhorn Lesters. You know how I play both platforms now, or both pages. I'm a Survivor and Longhorn Lesters. And so I was doing some comparisons, because that's what number people do that. We always do that with our numbers. And how shocking that my top 5 videos of the month of July were all about the goats. All five.
There's a lot of historical love, though, in those goats too.
Oh, definitely. You got your Ringo, who's struggling with his knees and his older age.
Shirley and Huck.
Huck and Shirley, and Huck not being able to gain any weight and just kind of like learning. He thought he was the leader, then all of a sudden other ones show up. So now, like, where does he fit in all of that?
He's still the leader.
He's still the leader. And if he's not in the front, he's right beside Ringo. So they kind of both take the lead. But how beautiful for Huck to actually have earned himself a leadership role. And Lenny, who is so jealous. Lenny is the most jealous goat, because Lenny is probably our toughest goat. If you put the goats into a ring and they had to fight to the death, Lenny would probably win. Lenny's
strong and
he's
tough.
A tough SOB.
He almost took me out.
Yeah, no, Lenny's tough. And to bring Lenny over here in that first group of goats who thought, yeah, well, I'm the toughest.
Clearly, I'm the
leader. And we give it to Mr. Huck. And goats are smart enough to know that he who wears the bell, or she who wears the bell, is our leader. And Lenny was confused by all of that. But no, Lenny has conformed to falling in behind Mr. Huck. And I think a lot of people love that about seeing the goats and their dynamic and stuff. But,
so did you happen to have time to look at your analytics from I'm a Survivor too, to see which animals are the intrigue there?
No, I did not do that.
So I did on mine.
Wait, because now I'm a Survivor has no goats.
Right.
So like I was saying, I'm a Survivor on mine it's almost always a compilation. So I don't think I can do that. But now when you make an I'm a Survivor video, you either have your horses or your alpacas, or the pigs.
Feathers or the pigs.
So I'm going to say alpacas, because if you ever mention Annie, I believe that's going to be an automatic.
Yeah. Annie is a big, there's always been an intrigue around Annie though. But now that we're on like this baby watch, which is endless, there's an intrigue about Annie. I know that I've seen the question like 20, 30 times already.
Sorry.
Yes, we still think she's pregnant. Me, and probably others. Lester doesn't. At least I don't think you do. Maybe it changed since last week. But I do, because of her mannerisms, because of her belly, because of what I'm seeing. I think that my date was wrong. It's coming to the point where it's possibly wrong. But we'll see. But any special, and I will say that second to that is anything with Trudy or Cornholio.
Oh, yeah.
Is next in line.
Yeah.
They're just so, they're really neat personalities is really what it boils down to. I don't even think it's the type of animal itself. It's their personality.
I can't make a video without Pig Trudy. That's just part of my thing. If you see me on an I'm a Survivor video, you're going to see Trudy in there somewhere. And so I'll tell you, I shouldn't start trouble, but I'll tell you what, if you really want to have a video with a lot of views, get on to Jake. Either do a job with Jake, or get on to Jake. And if you could include Jake, either getting onto him or doing a job with him, that video is gonna surpass all the others. Now there's still gonna be animals in the video.
Oh yeah.
But Jake is our best animal. He's our biggest draw by far. Yeah, Jake is like our circus clown.
Oh my god.
Or our circus freak, our freak show. I don't know what you would call it. What was at a
He's
circus?
kind of like the rodeo clown. Let's be real about that.
Jake is obviously our biggest draw. So you make a video and you can feature Jake in it, then guess what? You're going to do better. As a matter of fact, I think even Brienne has learned that. Brienne, I love Brienne, but she can make a video, and if she has Jake in it, more so than her kids, more so than her goats, more so than Paw, Bree puts Jake in a video, and it's going to have more views on it. And so, yeah, we've learned that if I want to make a good video, let me find something to get on to Jake about. And that's not hard. Trust me, it's not hard. It's very easy to find something to get on to Jake about. And I'm just so glad that Jake's a good sport about it. And Jake knows. As a matter of fact, I'm not trying to push my own videos, but on tomorrow's video, which happened yesterday, the weekends we do our own chores. We don't have any help around I'm a Survivor. So Jamie and I are doing it ourselves. And I go out to do the chores, and I can't find I can't find a feed bucket. Now, tell me how in the course of a 5-day week, someone can lose 6 feed buckets. Now, a feed bucket is don't point at yourself.
I said not me.
A feed bucket, we use a 5-gallon buckets for our feed. And I have 6 screws on the wall in the feed room where I hang all 6 of my buckets. I know what you're saying. I can already tell now. Lester's going to start being anal about his buckets. He got to have everything hanging in. I can't stand people like that. Hey, guys, come on. For each his own, all right? But, yes, I like to have my feed buckets in place. And yesterday, it's hot. We spent most of the day here, and we get home, and it's time to start the chores over there. And so we go out, and Jamie starts doing all her waters and doing the things that she does. And I go out to start feeding, and it was a grain day. We have a hay day, and we have a grain day now. And I go out to do the grains, and if I can't find a single bucket, not a one, and I'm thinking, wait a minute. So, of course, I get out my video camera, and I had to go on a bucket hunt. I go, and I find all 6 of my buckets.
Do you want to know what's funny though?
I just want to say that, guess what? You can already imagine some of the places I found some of those buckets. But here's the good thing. I didn't say any names. I never mentioned anyone's name. So go ahead.
if I made a video of all of the things
Oh,
that
no.
someone
Oh, no.
left out in the wrong place, or if I went back today, if I beat you home today, because both vehicles are here, if I beat you home today and make a quick snip of where all the buckets were from yesterday,
No.
do you want to take a bet at where those might be?
Hold on a minute. I know for a fact that when I left out of the feed room, I hung all 6 up because I even made a thumbnail with me doing this.
Oh, you did it because of the video.
That's where I want my buckets to be. That's where I want my buckets to be.
On a normal day?
Every woman has a place in your house where you keep your certain things.
Oh, I was
No,
like,
no,
where
no,
are you going with this, Merle? I will take you out right here.
No, you won't. No, all I'm saying is, and so every man has a place where you keep your tools, or you keep the things that you use, you know where they're at. And even though it may seem like it's a cluster, or it's all clustered up to some, you know at the house right where, let's say the fly swatter's at.
Mm-hmm.
If I went home, I wouldn't be able to I couldn't find the fly swatter. But if I was like, Jane, where's the fly? And she would know right which nook or cranny she has it stuck in. And the same thing for all of your things. You know right where they're at. Yet I can't find the aspirin if I have a headache at night. I'm having to wake you up. Hey, I got a headache.
That's because you put that all in your truck. The same way you can't find your glasses.
Let's move on to other things. So everybody out there, you have a place where you keep your stuff. And so it's not beside me. I'm not being a jerk by saying, where's my feed buckets? Jamie, I can't find my feed buckets. It's my day to feed. Where's my feed buckets? I can't carry the feed out in my hands and toss it there. I'm not feeding the birds. I'm feeding Billy. I'm feeding all of Kim's goats. I'm feeding a lot of animals here. And I needed my buckets. So don't get on to me, y'all. Just laugh and go along with it, or choose not to watch it, Jamie. Just, if you already know I'm going to find my buckets in where they should not be, I'm telling you now. It's fun and it's funny, and that's what video creators do, is you just find ways to create videos based on your life and what you have to do. But no, it was funny how your biggest draw at I'm a Survivor is Annie, and my biggest draw is Jake. So if I can get Jake either to do something fun like the pool, taking down the pool, or I have anxiety. Yeah, if I can find a good video for Jake, man, it's going to be my biggest video of the week. I can promise you that. And thank you, Shelly. Shelly goes, I totally agree, Lester. And I believe that even though a lot of folks can't agree because Jake may see this, or someone, their husband may see this, you know it's true. You need to know where your things are at. And it's hard when you can't find them.
They weren't where you threw them last time, is what you're saying.
But I know where I throw them. That's the whole difference. I know where I throw them.
Oh, you don't?
Huh?
No.
Oh, wait, I forget where I put things?
Babe, have you seen my glasses? Babe, I swear there were glasses right here. Babe, have you seen my Crocs?
And they'll be right on my head.
Babe, do you know where my hat is?
Listen, that's age. That's not that's not nothing to do with me being
The other day, we were
slacker.
Driving, and his phone, he's watching his phone right here, listening to his phone that's on the little thing, and he's like, oh my God,
I forgot my phone.
I forgot my phone. I have to turn around. And I'm like,
yeah,
right here.
I thought I'd forgotten my phone, and we're literally sitting there watching the phone. And because I normally have it in my pocket, and I felt my pocket and there wasn't a phone, and I had to turn around because I forgot my phone. Okay, let's just move on.
The point is,
what else you got for us, Jamie?
It's a hilarious video because I heard him making it, and I was out doing stuff like watching him from a distance. It is a hilarious video, and we've all been there because you're right. It's not where you put it last time because others did things, and it wasn't where it typically is. So I agree with you. It was hilarious. It's going to be a great video, but I am going to make a funny video about you and all of your things just to show that, you know.
If you think that you have to do something like that,
I don't think
Jamie,
I have to. I want to.
No one would really care.
I want
about picking on Lester.
Oh, I want to.
If you want to have a bestseller, pick on Jake. I'm telling you right now. If you want to have a bestseller, or in our case, a widely viewed video, pick on Jake. And then what's even extra special about picking on Jake is that a lot of people come to Jake's defense. So Jake's army comes out in full force to defend him.
Who did Jake's army want to take me out yesterday?
What happened?
The video that he posted
Oh, Marsha.
About
and Trixie.
Marsha that
Okay.
finally made its way to Facebook.
Can I say this real fast, or you want to tell this part of the story?
No, I just want to tell you that those people were ready to like lynch mob me, like put me on a stake, set me on fire because I mentioned a shock
They wanted
collar.
to burn you at a stake. Hey, so I will say this. I will deposit before I withdraw. I think there's a lot of things about animals that we don't know. And I think that people that do study animal behaviors, like study them, could probably be great managers and run really successful programs in sanctuaries, forever homes. We don't know everything, and we've never claimed to know everything. But one thing that we have bought for our dogs are, you call them shock collars. But listen, they have 3 modes. They have a beep, beep, which is a sound. They have a vibrate, zzz, 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 and they have a very mild shock. And so what we've learned that when we have had dogs who have bad habits, if we put the shock collar, this sounds like, oh my God, you're shocking them, you're shocking them. It's called a shock collar, but we don't use the shock mode. You just put the collar on. And once they know, uh-oh, I better be on my best behavior, then they're on their very best behavior. All of a sudden, the things that they do
that they
are
know are naughty. They know.
And that kind of tells me the intelligence of a dog or any animal. We've never had to put a collar on any other animal, but we have had to put our collars onto Maggie and Trixie. And luckily, Maggie very seldom needs to wear her collar. But I saw the people that were hating on you in that video, and the same things they were saying that were so mean towards you. But guys, if you don't mind, could we just play that? We're not animal behaviorists, and if there's positive reinforcement, then my question is, if Trixie goes out and sucks on the exhaust from the side-by-side, so Trixie runs up and puts her mouth over the exhaust of the side-by-side. I'm not trying to be mean, but what can I do to positively teach her not to do that in a positive way? No, Trixie. No. Don't put that in your mouth.
Oh, no, you're not allowed to say
Here,
no.
Put this in your mouth.
No, you're not allowed to say no.
I don't really know. And so I think that the biggest argument yesterday was the fact that you should have found a way to positively reinforce her behavior instead of the negative reinforcer. And as a school teacher, I agree. As a classroom teacher for 25 years, you could scold that student for his misbehavior, or you could reward a student for exemplifying great behavior. And over time, those negative behaviors would slowly convert over to being more positive.
But do you do that if what that kid is doing, that it is affecting their health, their well-being, or another life? Is that how you do it? You're like, oh, let's not kill Marsha right now. Let's go over here and have a popsicle. No. And people got, I'm sorry, this is my moment here. People got onto me because of my reaction, that I didn't say, oh my gosh, and so worried about Marsha. There's a fly on the camera.
There's flies all over us.
That I didn't cry or break down in the moment about Marsha, and that my instinct initially was about Trixie versus having the emotion about Marsha.
So before you go too far into it, here's what I'm going to say. Most of the folks that were so critical are not watching this right now. No. We are blessed to have darn near 10,000 people who love and support us and know that we make mistakes. Because those people that jump in every once in a while just to scream and holler and yell are not the folks who are watching us right now.
You're right.
So we are blessed that you accept us with our flaws and our mistakes, and we make a lot of them. Man, we make a lot of mistakes, a whole lot of them. And yes, we do agree that you should ignore the negative people, but you can't forget that we also work for the people. We do. And because we're video creators, we have to work for the people. And so we just know that if we could think of a way to positively reinforce Trixie killing a chicken or killing a duck or killing your turkey, but I just don't know. And so then if everyone says, well, you should educate yourself. Well, that's easy to say. Educate yourself. So I don't know, guys. What does one do?
Okay. I'm gonna.
We should just
So
let
I'm
it
gonna
go.
take this a little bit further back because
We should just let this
this
go.
is my emotion coming out,
Hold
and
on.
it's not appropriate. I don't care. You squeeze my leg as hard as you want to.
I'm
All
turning
those
red.
people that are like, you should positively reinforce are also the people who, I'm sorry, I'm going to make some more people hate me right now, who didn't spank their kids. And now we have a culture of people who want trophies for participation and who want something for nothing and who don't truly understand right from wrong, because instead of telling someone that they were wrong and that they shouldn't do it, we offered them a popsicle or an award for something else. And I'm sorry, these are still our animals. This is still our home, and this is the way that we choose it. And the last time that I checked, we live in a place that allows us to do so. So my solution to this is I'm just not going to be a part of any video anymore where there's conflict. And instead, I will share rainbows and sunshines and Lester getting bit in the ear.
No. So we had this discussion yesterday privately. Jamie and I had this same discussion.
I said I wasn't going to talk about it, by the way.
And I sat on the couch and I says, no, you're not. No, you're not. Because we have made it a promise to all of you, for you folks, that we will share the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, if you want to hate us some days, but come back and love us the next, then you know what? If we have done something to offend or upset because we don't know, or we made a rash decision and we didn't really think things through, which is the story of my life, then sometimes I deserve the slap on the wrist. I deserve a couple of maybe mean or other things. But I don't think that we can start showing you only the beautiful sides of everything, because that's what every other internet page does. Nothing goes wrong on their farms.
This is not the Hallmark Channel.
Everything on their farms goes perfect. Oh, and if you don't see an animal, that's because we found some great way to, it's living a better life. But no, we show the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when you take care of 100+ animals, that's hard to do. And some animals sometimes get sick and they don't all make it. And some animals have bad habits and you can't keep them around and so we love Trixie. And so for as many folks who keep screaming to rehome her, the routine that I have with Trixie is a sweet and fun routine. And I like that routine. Trixie likes her routine. Trixie's not miserable in some kennel. She's not stuck in a cage all day. She has yard time and she has indoor time. She's out of the weather. She's not in the cold. She's not in the rain. She's not in the heat. I think that Trixie has a wonderful life. I will not highlight and showcase bad habits. How foolish of me, because of your demands, to allow Trixie out for those couple of days, only for her to end up killing Marcia because of some of your demands. And so we had a routine in place. We had a routine that works great. And so it was because I gave in to the demands of people who don't know. So unless you've walked a mile in our shoes, you have to understand that we try to manage the animals the best that we can. And we have rehomed animals that don't fit in. But Trixie is a sweet girl and we love her, and we offer her all kinds of fun and enrichment activities. But I have made it the point that I will not highlight and I will not showcase her chewing on the exhaust, because what do I do in my videos? I'm driving somewhere. Yes. Where's Trixie at? Either under the tire or chewing on the exhaust. Why would I keep continually bringing you that? Because then the comments are all about what's wrong with you? Why are you letting that dog do this? So then what do I video? The animals. What do you see? Trixie chasing an animal. Why would I video that? So I've learned that I put Trixie away when I make a video. And we don't highlight and showcase things that we know is going to rile you all up. So
sorry, I did that to you.
It
was my fault.
I have bad habits and you still accept me. Jamie still accepts me with my bad habits. Jamie has bad habits and I still accept her. And you all have bad habits that we don't know about. You don't have to tell us, but if we knew them, we'd still accept you for who you are.
Ooh, we could talk about it on Tuesday, though.
Oh, my bad habits?
Oh, anybody's bad habits.
No.
We can talk about habits. We can talk about quirks. We can talk, Tuesday's like a safe place for us to just let everything just all hang out.
Yeah.
I like
Tuesdays are good.
Tuesdays.
So I'm by far not perfect, man. I have so many flaws. I've made so many mistakes in my life, and I'll be the first one to tell you that I am so blessed to be where I am, because I don't deserve the life that you've blessed me with, and that the animals that you've entrusted me with, and the woman that's by my side. I don't deserve this for nothing. And most of us men take a deep look and say, you know what? I don't deserve my blessings in life either. My children and their partners, and we don't deserve them. But we try to make it from one day to the next, and we're always trying to look ahead and look forward. And so yeah, I think that so yesterday was your attack day. Even though I was very flattered from my dance video.
Your dance video was top notch.
Listen, I don't know how anyone thought I was being serious. Guys, when I was doing the pull-ups on the tractor, I was doing pull-ups and allowing the tow bar of the tractor. Sorry, Jamie. I don't mean to sound crude or vulgar, but you don't think I knew what I was doing? I had set this entire thing up. So I was allowing, number one, the tow bar of the tractor to semi. Anyway, then the hay slide. If you didn't get the humor in the pull up, ow. Okay, fine. Then the hay slide where I literally let my shirt come up to my belly and my belly's hanging out and I'm sliding through rough ass hay. Who does that?
It was in my mind. You're gonna laugh. That was like the sexiest video that he's ever made to me, ever. And he came in and shared it with me and goes, "Is this what you had in mind?" Because I did challenge him to mock another creator, not mock, to copy another creator, and to make it Lester. Though
the difference is the other creator was a really good looking man and he had really good dance moves. And he was dancing at a beer brewery.
But I wanted you to make it Lester, though. I wanted you to.
So I made it Lester. I made it dumb funny. Y'all know dumb funny.
Anyway, it was top notch. That hay slide did me in.
Hey, and the fact still have a rash from the top of my butt cheek to my back is a rash from sliding down the hay. I didn't pull off. I didn't pull it out. I kept it going for you. I kept it going for your entertainment.
But the best part was I watched that thing 5 times before I realized that the tow bar was in a really bad place. I don't know how I missed that. I guess somewhere in between the whole dead, like the serious look at the camera and the dip in the Crocs and then the hay slide. Oh my God.
It was trying to make you laugh. I didn't want you to get turned on. I didn't want you to get turned off. I didn't want you to have to explain to your grandchildren the birds and the bees. I wanted you to laugh. I thought you would laugh.
All I know is if kids were offended by that, if you think that your kids were offended by that or shouldn't see it, I guarantee you.
It was these ladies who were offended by that. I don't get it.
I enjoyed it and it was outstanding. Thank you. It is on Facebook. It is a reel on Facebook.
I was just trying to make you laugh, guys. In every video that I do, I think that I'm going to say this, and we can wrap this up if you're ready to.
Okay.
In every video that we create, now I can't speak for all creators, but I speak for you and I. We try to grab your emotions. We try to snatch on to your emotions and to your senses. And it's sometimes difficult to do that through a video because you can hear us and you can see us. That's about all you got. So what we have to do, what makes our job difficult, is we have to try to sometimes pull at your heartstrings, which we have to try to find a way to reach you on the inside.
That's about sharing our feelings and in real time as they're happening sometimes, not just telling you that made me sad. We're sharing our emotions and talking about what we're seeing. So if you're just hearing the video, that you can feel it as well, or if you're just seeing it and reading it, maybe of what we're saying, that you can understand it in that sense as well.
Another example, Jamie, is I've made 2 videos in this last month of July. Once when we took the ostrich babies in the truck, and then when I made my green water, when I was the water czar, the internet water czar. I wanted you to be able to smell and taste that nasty water. And I had to find a way through a video for you to see what farmers are letting their animals drink. And so the only way to do that was to show you the little worms crawling around in the green stuff. And I had to find a way for you to not just see it and hear it, but I had to find a way to make you smell it and make you taste it. And so that's very hard to do. It's very hard to do. I believe I made a lot of enemies across the internet that day. I made a lot more enemies on Friday when I said that no internet channel should be asking people for money. Jamie, that is the most ridiculous thing ever. You can be mad if you want to be mad. Jamie doesn't like me to talk about controversial things, but it angers me to no end when a video creator has been blessed with a window of opportunity, as in having a social media following where they make money, yet they have to ask you for more money in the form of a GoFundMe or in the form of a do this for us, or can you please send us this for this? But we want to better our lives, and we need you to help us do it, because we all always said you got to earn your money. And how do you earn your money? By making quality videos that people want to watch for entertainment purposes, or to feel and have your heartstrings pulled, to see your favorite animals and hear their life stories. But yeah, I got to be careful. I ain't gonna have any friends left on the internet if I don't slow it down a little bit, Jamie. But I hope I have all of you, and that's all that really matters. Someone typed something in all caps. Let me see this. When I see an all cap, oh yeah, that water was nasty. Others should be ashamed to leave that water for their animals. Thank you, Kathy. I agree with that. I was not trying to send you all out on a witch hunt.
No.
That's what I was kind of accused of. I was just trying to make us aware that there's more to taking care of animals than what sometimes people realize. And there's more time. You have to invest time. And I've always felt this way. And Jamie, speak up at any point. I've always thought that one of the things that we spend the most of for our animals is time. It costs a lot more time to give them a quality life than it does money. It can get expensive. Yes, it can. But you have to spend time. And that means those waters around this time of year need to be clean. And it's not hard. It is not hard to keep that water clean. But you know what it costs? Time. And farmers don't want to spend their time cleaning waters. They want to spend their time doing other things. And so I always think,
there's a lot of farmers who are like, well, it's no different than drinking out of a pond or things like that. It is, because a pond has a ecosystem in it, hopefully, to be able to do some filtering and, process itself. But when you make it about putting water in a trough and that's your source, I always look at it as, if I wouldn't drink it, I don't want my animals to drink it.
And we also are passionate about water and water cleanliness, because don't forget, 2 or 3 summers ago, every goat we had was on death's door.
Yes.
We never shared with you all the things that we were seeing every day with the scours, which is goat diarrhea, and how every goat on that property had lost so much weight.
How they coughed,
coughing.
It was a very rough year.
And come to find out, it was because we were not keeping their water clean. And man, that right there has changed me forever. And all I was trying to do was bring awareness to other folks that, hey, got to keep that water clean. But anyway, that was not the part of this video. No, I've made some enemies. I got to be very careful. But there's a couple of things that I stand for and things that I won't stand for. And so, but I wasn't at all trying to get you guys to go off and start some crusade to rid
No.
everybody of green water.
I think that some people get busy and don't, that, to them, they're like, oh, the water's full. They don't realize what that means, because sometimes it's on the side of a trough. And I'm not trying to harp on this either, but I think that people, I'm not making excuses for people. I'm just saying that it might not have been their focus that day or that week, and to them it was full and they didn't realize how gross it really was. So
Yep.
It's not a witch hunt. It's not meant for you to go and shame other people or anything like that, but I guess it's more of like a lesson that we learned to pass on, of just like clean water is like the foundation to healthy animals.
Yeah. And then I guess to top all of that off, this is kind of a funny quote over here, because I use that quote a lot. You can't handle the truth, because there are some people that would like us to the good, the bad, and the ugly. You appreciate the fact that we bring you all of those things, but when we do bring you something that's not kind of ugly, that's not real pretty, there's a lot of folks who don't want to know that. You already have your mind made up of who everybody is and what everybody does and how hard everyone works and how great everybody is. And when you find out something that goes against what you thought, then all of a sudden you don't want to know that. And so that's human nature, y'all. I'm not upset about that. But there are some videos that where we speak the truth, but like this person over here says, you can't handle the truth, or you don't want to know the truth. But I've always said that our videos are our product. That's like when you write a composition in school, when you write an essay, or for your job, when you manage it, when you set a schedule for your doctors, that's your finished and your final product. And it has to be perfect. At that point, it's not a rough draft anymore. It's no longer a rough draft. And so for the beginning video creators, what you're doing is you're putting out a lot of rough drafts where you're not really having the best of video. You're not really spending much time in your video editing. But unfortunately, what I'm trying to say is that those video creators don't realize that you ultimately are the ones who are the judges of their product. And you are the ones who have the ultimate say in, I'm not happy with this product. You would never accept and drink a soda if you did not like the product, or if it was an inferior product. You wouldn't buy a home if it was an inferior wood, if it was a lower quality wood. And so ultimately you are the consumer. We're the ones who are the producers. And so it's you who have to be the voice and speak up for what you deserve. And if we're trying to take your time, then we owe you a good quality product. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And in that, clean water is what we offer the animals that you love. A serene and quiet and tranquil pasture for the longhorns or for the ostriches is what we owe them, those who love them. And so it's a part of our product. And so we have to invest back into our product. Am I just rambling on?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here hanging out with my friends here and reading the chat and blocking some
I keep seeing
spammers.
You blocking. So it's spammers or it's mean people?
No, it's a spammers. It's some crazy dating site, XXX and all that.
Oh.
I think I finally got rid of it, though.
That wouldn't be us. Well, guys, then that's all I got. I've gone off on quite the rant there. I didn't mean to. Jamie started the rant. If you remember, I was the one who was like trying to ease off and like, slow down, girl. Give me your leg. Next thing I know, if I'm not the one ranting about all kinds of stuff.
It's all good.
But hey, it was a fun Sunday with you all. Thank you for joining us and being a part of this time. And
I have watched my hair progressively get frizzier and do things that I'm just like, yeah, it's hot. I'm ready to leave you off for a little bit, go do some chores and,
get out of here.
Yeah, we got to go back to the other house and do chores too.
And then I promised Jamie a date night tonight where I'm going to take her to eat Buffalo Wild Wings.
Getting fancy.
Buffalo Wild Wings. If y'all don't know what that is, you are missing out. Buffalo Wild Wings. It's going to be calling our name. But we got chores to do before that happens, y'all. So thank you so much for watching us and hanging out with us, allowing us into your homes and your phones. I don't mean to be using your lines.
You always steal my lines.
Jump in there anytime.
I will see y'all on Tuesday evening for a cocktail and some catching up, and who knows what we'll talk about. We can bring all of our bad habits and share all of our dirty laundry, and it's going to be a great time.
Please
We'll
don't think
find
about
something
my
else.
bad habits. Come on, let that live and die with
Actually,
you.
that's a better idea. Let's talk about our partner's bad habits. That sounds really fun too.
Jamie always takes pictures of me in really awkward positions.
That's not true.
No, it is true. And I always say,
not
why? What's the point? And she goes, I'm not going to use it. I'm never going to use it. And I'm like, then why would you have taken that photo? Why would you have done that? I just want to have it. I want to have it.
Because it was funny.
Okay, it's funny now. But what happens the day that I end up hurting your feelings or breaking your heart, and then all of a sudden what happens?
I can go back and laugh and remember that you still
the
make
whole
me laugh.
internet gets to see me in my most awkward positions and awkward moments.
My favorite picture that you're like, why would you want a picture of this, is where you came home from school that day and you're like carrying stuff in, and I see something green tied around your waist. And I'm like, you're wearing red and khaki because those were your school colors. And you have something like almost neon green tied around your waist. Do you remember this day?
Was it my belt?
Yeah, except for it wasn't a belt. It was like some piece of something from
my belt broke. So I had to take a curtain and tear off a piece of curtain and just wrap it around my belt loops to pull my pants tight enough to stay up. It looked like I was one of those matadors with the little garter belt wrapped around me.
It was outstanding, and I have the picture still today, and I love it, and I'm not getting rid of it because dang it, it's for me. So,
and I promise you, one day if she ever gets mad enough, she's going to release all these pictures of Lester exposed, and you're all never going to like me anymore because I'm just a big goof and
things that they didn't know.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get out of here, guys.
We love y'all, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, we will. All right.